If you're a man over 60 and you've noticed your mornings aren't what they used to be, less energy, weaker performance, or the absence of something you used to wake up with every day, this isn't just aging, it's a signal. And if you ignore it, things don't just stall, they decline faster. But what if the fix wasn't found in a bottle or a prescription, but sitting right there on your breakfast plate? I'm Dr. Sophia Jain, and today I'm going to show you 5 specific breakfast foods that help restore blood flow, nerve function, and muscular strength where it matters most. These aren't superfoods in theory. They're real foods that men have used to feel change within weeks. And I'll also share one breakfast mistake almost every man over 60 is making without realizing it's hurting their circulation below the belt. So stay with me. Every minute of this could be the difference between decline and recovery. Let's start with the truth most men don't want to face. Your body still wants to function fully. It just needs the right materials. And what you eat first thing in the morning is either supplying those materials or stealing them. The first food is probably in your kitchen right now, but most men throw away the part that actually matters most. I'm talking about whole eggs, eaten with the yolk. Not just egg whites, not some powdered protein shake, whole, real eggs. Why? Because the yolk is loaded with B vitamins like B12, vitamin D, choline, and leucine, nutrients essential for testosterone metabolism, nerve sensitivity, and pelvic muscle repair. I've seen men change nothing but their breakfast, and the result is morning erections returning, increased sensation, and better control. That's not magic, that's biology. The amino acids in eggs support nitric oxide production, which opens up blood vessels, especially the small capillaries that feed the pelvic floor. And as you age, these are the vessels that get neglected first. One of my patients, 72 years old, hadn't had a spontaneous erection in over 18 months. We added 2 boiled eggs to his breakfast daily. By week 3, he called me, speechless. All he said was, "It's back." And he wasn't alone. Now, let's move to something most men would never guess could help them restore erections. Food number 3, beets. Steamed, roasted, or blended into a smoothie. Beets are rich in nitrates, natural compounds that convert to nitric oxide in your body, which dilate blood vessels and improves oxygen delivery to muscles, including the penis. There's a reason athletes use beet juice to improve performance. It's because nitric oxide enhances circulation and muscle oxygenation fast. And it works the same way in the lower body. I had a retired firefighter, 68 years old, who told me he had good stamina in his youth, but now felt like his legs and lower body were sluggish. We added half a cup of roasted beets to his morning 3 times a week. By the end of the first month, his energy returned, and his partner noticed the difference before he did. If you want to improve response time, firmness, and confidence, beets should not be optional. But we're not done. One food that often gets ignored in older men's diets is avocado. That's food number 4. I call it the hormone protector. Avocados are loaded with healthy monounsaturated fats, magnesium, potassium, and vitamin E. All of these support endothelial function, the lining of your blood vessels, and protect your testosterone levels. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Magnesium, found abundantly in avocados, directly improves testosterone bioavailability by reducing something called SHBG, or sex hormone binding globulin. SHBG tends to rise as you age, making your testosterone less effective, even if your numbers are technically normal. Avocados also reduce inflammation in blood vessels, making it easier for nitric oxide to do its job. Half an avocado on whole grain toast or blended into a smoothie provides the raw materials your body needs to protect its hormonal health. I've had multiple men tell me their energy, drive, and physical confidence came back after adding avocado to breakfast just a few times a week. And it's not hard. It's just consistent. And that brings us to food number 5, one that acts fast, tastes great, and has direct effects on erection quality. That's watermelon. Yes, watermelon. This fruit is packed with an amino acid called L-citrulline, which converts to L-arginine, and that boosts nitric oxide in your blood, the same mechanism ED drugs use. Watermelon's effect is gentle, steady, and safe. It supports both erection hardness and sensitivity. Most men don't know that the white part of the rind, the part most people throw away, actually has the highest concentration of L-citrulline. Blend it with the red flesh and drink it in the morning. It's refreshing, fast-acting, and it goes to work immediately. One of my clients, 65, started drinking a watermelon rind smoothie 3 times a week before breakfast. By week 2, he texted me saying, "Is it weird that I'm waking up feeling like a teenager again?" No, it's not weird. It's blood flow. Now, here's where it all comes together. Eating these foods separately will help, but combining them strategically, in the right window, within 1 hour of waking, multiplies the effect. That's because your testosterone levels are naturally highest in the morning. Your blood vessels are more responsive, your muscles are ready to receive nutrients, and your nervous system is reset after sleep. If you skip breakfast or grab something processed, you're wasting your most effective hormonal window of the day. And over time, that neglect adds up. You may not feel it at first, but gradually your morning energy fades, your sensation declines, and you start to believe the lie that it's just age. But the truth is, your body's still trying. You just have to give it the tools it's asking for. One major warning, though, if you're doing everything right and still not seeing results, you might be making one breakfast mistake that silently shuts down circulation. And it's more common than you think.
I see this all the time. A man in his late 60s or 70s wants to feel better, so he starts taking walks, eating better, trying supplements, but every morning, without fail, he's starting his day with one thing guaranteed to spike his insulin, inflame his arteries, and deplete his energy before the day even begins: refined carbohydrates. Bagels, white toast, sugary granola, even healthy cereals. These aren't just empty calories, they're circulatory disruptors. The rapid blood sugar spike forces your pancreas to dump insulin, and in response, your arteries tighten. That spike is followed by a crash, leaving you foggy, tired, and constricted down there. Your pelvic region, already struggling with weaker vessels, gets even less oxygen and nutrients. I'm not saying carbs are bad. I'm saying the wrong carbs at the wrong time create the perfect storm for dysfunction. The fix? Replace refined grains with fiber-rich, slow-digesting carbs, like the steel-cut oats we talked about, or a sweet potato with the skin. You can even match it with a bit of extra virgin olive oil and Celtic salt for added minerals. Your body doesn't need a huge breakfast. It needs a targeted one that restores balance to your vascular system, energizes your nerves, and supports the hormones that drive performance. That means healthy fats, slow carbs, high-quality protein, and micronutrients. When you line those up first thing in the morning, the rest of the day flows better, literally. Let's go a little deeper. One of the least talked about causes of ED in men over 60 is loss of neuromuscular sensitivity in the pelvic floor. That means the muscles at the base of your torso, the same ones that support your hips, core, and yes, your erections, become weak, underfed, and poorly activated. These muscles require magnesium, potassium, and amino acids daily to stay engaged. Think of it like a circuit breaker. If it loses power, the whole system below it shuts down. That's why magnesium-rich foods like avocado, chia seeds, and leafy greens in a smoothie can make such a big difference. They reawaken that neuromuscular system. When you combine those nutrients with consistent hydration and morning movement, even just a brisk 10-minute walk, you reintroduce oxygen and nutrient delivery to tissues that have been starved for years. I had a patient named Frank, 73 years old, who told me he had accepted that his sex life was over. He had tried medications, creams, devices, you name it, but none of them worked long-term. We reviewed his lifestyle and saw that his morning routine was missing every key nutrient I just mentioned. We introduced a simple breakfast rotation: boiled eggs with avocado toast on Monday, oatmeal with flaxseed and blueberries on Tuesday, watermelon smoothie with beet juice and mineral salt on Wednesday, and repeated that cycle. Within 2 weeks, Frank emailed me. The subject line just said, "It's working," and inside the message, just 2 words: "Thank you." That's the power of real food timed right. Let's talk about hydration for a moment. Blood is mostly water. Your erection quality depends on the volume and velocity of blood flow, and both are affected by how well hydrated you are first thing in the morning. One of the worst things you can do is wake up and reach straight for coffee before anything else. Coffee is a diuretic, meaning it pushes water out of your system, and if you haven't rehydrated after sleep, your blood volume is already low, which means less pressure, less sensitivity, and slower response times down there. Start every morning with at least 12 ounces of room temperature water, ideally with a pinch of Celtic sea salt or a squeeze of lemon. That combination restores electrolytes, activates digestion, and helps regulate blood pressure gently. You want strong flow, not spikes or crashes. Water helps set that baseline. Then follow it with one of the meals we've discussed, and your system is primed, not just to survive the day, but to reclaim real function. Another common question I get is about fruit. Should older men eat fruit in the morning? The answer is yes, but with strategy. Fruits like berries, watermelon, and bananas have distinct benefits for circulation and nerve health, but they should be eaten in combination with fats or fiber to prevent sugar spikes. A small handful of blueberries in your oats. Slices of banana with almond butter on whole grain toast. Watermelon blended with the white rind, and a tablespoon of flaxseed oil. These are combinations that stabilize blood sugar while maximizing nutrient absorption. Don't fear fruit, fear the way processed food has replaced it. Now I want to address something critical. Consistency. It's not enough to eat a great breakfast once or twice a week and hope for miracles. Your body needs signals, daily, repeated, dependable. Every day you wake up and give your body the right materials, you're retraining it to function again. You're rebuilding capillaries. You're refueling nerves. You're strengthening muscle fibers. You're turning the lights back on in systems that had gone dim. And while you may not notice a dramatic change on day 1, by day 7, you might notice more warmth in your legs. By day 10, more sensation. By day 14, something happens. You wake up and realize you feel more grounded in your body, more connected to your masculinity. Not because of a pill, because you fed your system the way it's asking to be fed. Some men will watch this entire video and do nothing. They'll keep skipping breakfast or grabbing a bagel and coffee on the way out the door. But the men who take action, who commit to feeding themselves properly first thing in the morning, are the ones who feel the change, not in theory, in their relationships, in their posture, in their mornings. It doesn't matter how old you are. I've had men in their late 80s regain control, strength, and intimacy they thought was gone forever. And every single one of them started by choosing to nourish themselves daily with purpose. To summarize the blueprint, start each morning with water and trace minerals. Choose whole foods rich in protein, healthy fats, and circulation-boosting compounds. Avoid refined sugar and white flour. Prioritize consistency over variety. Time your breakfast within 1 hour of waking. You now have the roadmap. It's built on real science, real nutrients, and real success stories. Whole eggs for muscle and nerve support, steel-cut oats with flaxseed for artery health, beets for nitric oxide, avocados for hormonal strength, watermelon for direct blood flow enhancement. These are not trendy ideas. They are foundational tools for male vitality. The next step is yours. You can continue hoping things improve on their own, or you can decide that your health, your strength, and your sense of confidence matter too much to leave to chance. Set your alarm 10 minutes earlier, get the ingredients, prepare the meals, and take back what aging has tried to steal from you. You don't need a diagnosis. You don't need a prescription. You need a commitment to yourself, and it begins tomorrow morning on your plate. I've seen it happen too many times to doubt it, and I know if you stick with it, you'll feel it too. This is Dr. Sophia Jain, and if you've made it to the end of this message, that tells me one thing: you're not done yet. You're still capable, you're still strong, and now you have the tools to prove it. Start tomorrow morning and let your body show you what it can still do.